Honorable ministers that are here present, presidents of the Africa Investment Forum partner institutions, I know many of them have to also go to COP27 and they've traveled, but I recognize two of them that are here with us. Admasu Tadese, the president and the chief executive officer of the Trade Development Bank, but also Alan Ebobise, the CEO of Africa 50. Your Excellencies, ambassadors, heads of diplomatic organizations, executive directors of the African Development Bank Group, the senior vice president and vice presidents and management and staff of the African Development Bank Group, and same also for all the partner institutions, and you, the dear participants and investors from around the world, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and of course, my sweetheart Grace. Please give it up to my wife because thank you very much. Well, we're back for the closing ceremony of the Africa Investment Forum. How fast 72 hours can go by. So good evening to everybody. Welcome to this closing ceremony of the Africa Investment Forum 2022. Now, 3 days ago, we all gathered from around the world with a focus on Africa and with a focus on investments in Africa. Africa, because the continent is the investment frontier destination of the world. Africa, because the continent brims with enormous potentials in infrastructure, rare minerals, renewable energy, oil and gas, agriculture, manufacturing, digital and creative industries, and of course, sports. If you were really in the session with Masai Ujiri today, honestly, you will put a lot of your money into sports. Africa, because of its huge and dynamic and entrepreneurial youth, our best assets. People say the youth of Africa are Africa's future. No, they are not Africa's future. They are Africa's present. We heard a lot about the potential of Africa. We celebrate, of course, Africa's potential. But there is no market for potential. Nobody eats potential. We gather to unlock and unleash the potential of Africa via investments. As I walked around the forum, I saw and I witnessed dynamism. I felt the excitement, the drive and the focus on investing more in Africa. I felt a buzz in the corridors, the hallways, the boardrooms, that indeed Africa is bankable. As I visited some of the boardrooms, I could not but be impressed with the quality and the diversity of the projects, the clarity and engaging nature of the presentations by the project sponsors, the incisiveness of the questions raised by the investors. I was impressed to see heads of states and governments acting as CEOs of their countries, chairing sessions, engaging investors, promoting investments in their countries, and providing assurances that investments will be safe, secure, with very strong political and policy commitments. That's what makes the Africa Investment Forum different. It's not so much about your excellencies, it's about excellent projects. That is the focus. Deals, deals, and deals. So in 3 days, you have all been working on deals. Yes, we know the times are difficult financially with geopolitical developments all around our world. But we are not deterred by this because we know that Africa is bankable. And you, the investors, know, at least many of you know, even by now, that Africa is bankable. So I am delighted to announce that in the past 72 hours, you who participated in the Africa Investment Forum, collectively, we successfully mobilized $31 billion in investment interest for projects. Wow. Now that is incredible. I can't hear you from here, though. Well done, everybody. It's all adding up, and adding up so well for Africa. The year 2022 is a year, it has 2 and 2. And it is what I call delivering double for Africa Investment Forum. For the first time in the history of Africa Investment Forum since we started, we held it twice in 1 year, virtually in March of 2022, and of course in the last 3 days, November 2nd to November 4th of 2022. In March of 2022, the Africa Investment Forum mobilized $32.8 billion in investment interest for Africa. In the past 3 days, it mobilized an additional $31 billion, making a total of $63.8 billion of investment interest mobilized for Africa by the Africa Investment Forum this year alone. Thank you. Now, in Nigeria, you know, we like to dance in Nigeria, you know. We have a song that says, everything is double. And just so that you know how it is, we always say, everything na double, everything na, which means everything is double and double. That's how that song actually goes. And I remember when I was Minister of Agriculture, and I was going to the National Assembly. Minister said, maybe you might dance like that on your way one day. It might help you as you go to National Assembly. And I was dancing, going over there, and I always said, agriculture na double, na double. Well, the Africa Investment Forum delivered double for 2022. Congratulations. The success of the Africa Investment Forum was because of you. More than 1,800 people, project sponsors, investors, and delegates from around the world. You made the difference for Africa. I wish now to thank, I have so many thanks to give. I give thanks to God first and foremost for helping us to make this a successful event. I wish to thank President Alassane Ouattara for his incredible personal support and that of the government of Côte d'Ivoire. Thank you to the Vice President Kone of Côte d'Ivoire, the Prime Minister Achi of Côte d'Ivoire, Minister Cabanele, Madame Laforce Tranquille, for her strong support and partnership. I would like to thank President Nana Akufo-Addo, the CEO of Ghana Incorporated. President Emerson Mnangagwa, the CEO of Zimbabwe Incorporated. President Saleh Work Zewde, the CEO of Ethiopia Incorporated, for being here with us. I'd also like to thank the Vice President Jewel Howard Taylor of Liberia, Vice President Pango of Tanzania, the Prime Minister Correa E. Silva of Cabo Verde, who represented their presidents as CEOs of their respective countries incorporated. And of course, we are honored to have representations from President Paul Kagame of Rwanda, represented by Minister of Finance Uziel Ndagijimana. My own president, President Muhammadu Buhari of Nigeria, represented by my dear sister, the Minister of Finance, Zainab Ahmed, who can now dance double on the way to National Assembly. President Sassou Nguesso of Congo, represented by the Minister of State, the State Minister, Jean-Jacques Bouya. President Talon of Benin, represented by Finance Minister Romuald Wadagne. President Masisi of Botswana, represented by Minister Gafela. And of course, President Nyusi of Mozambique, represented by Minister Matthew Magala. I almost say Vice President because he was my Vice President at the bank. I wish to thank the President of the ECOWAS Commission, Umar Toure, the Secretary General of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, Secretariat Wamkele Mene. You see, their presence was very important because it helped us to have regional importance to all the investments we are making. I wish to thank the powerful delegations from governments from around the world, especially the United States of America that has such a huge delegation, led by Richard Joe Lewis, President and Chair of the Export-Import Bank of the United States of America, as well as the Vice President of the Korean Exim Bank, Sang-Ho Lee, the Brazilian Development Bank, and the Japanese Association of Corporate Executives, represented by Ken Shibusawa. I'd like to thank our incredible partners, the AIF partner institutions, Africa Export-Import Bank, the Africa Finance Corporation, Africa 50, Development Bank of Southern Africa, the European Investment Bank, the Islamic Development Bank Group, and the Trade and Development Bank for their hard work and efforts and collaboration and cooperation in mobilizing support around the projects. I said at the press event that we all held together collectively that there is not a single project today in Africa that is bigger than all of us. And I'm confident that there is nothing that we really cannot do in Africa. We will develop the projects. We will de-risk the projects. We will syndicate around the projects. We will co-finance around the projects. No project that is strategic in Africa that falls here that will not grow. And I also wanted to make a commitment so that it's not just about what we announced it. When we had our meeting together with the partners, I said to them that we've got to commit to some big things for next year. So in the interest of transparency, I'm going to tell you. 3 things. First and foremost, that we will work on special agro-industrial processing zones all across Africa. And the low bar is for Africa to feed itself. The high bar is for Africa to feed the world. The second thing we agreed that we are going to work on is on the issue of value chains for lithium-ion batteries. You see, we have cobalt, we've got nickel, we've got lithium, and all these things are exactly what you need to make electric cars. So as I said in my opening remarks to this forum, the future of electric cars in the world depends on Africa. But we're not going to make the same mistakes again of exporting raw materials. No. We want to develop value chains to manufacture lithium-ion batteries for electric cars, and why not electric cars right here in Africa? And thirdly, we are all heading to Sharm el-Sheikh. I will be leaving tomorrow for Sharm el-Sheikh, and many of you are heading over there. We are all talking about renewable energy. God loves Africa. And God has given us a tremendous amount of sunshine. We have 11 terawatts of solar power, which is the highest in the world. And we have, at the African Development Bank, we are making a $20 billion program to harness the power of that sunlight to light up the entire Sahelian region of Africa, all across 11 countries. That will provide electricity for 250 million people. And it will be the largest solar zone in the world. But as we do that, we have to make sure that we can actually produce the polysilicons right here, and of course the solar panels right here in Africa. So we, the partners on this platform, took a bold decision that we will support the manufacturing of solar panels in Africa. So we give ourselves a task, which we have to report back to you the progress we are making. Alan, are you here? Tadase, are you here? You have to give me, I have to hear you. Where are you? Can you get up and so they can see you that I'm not alone on this? All right? We will come back to you. That's what we want our continent to be, at the top of the value chain, never again at the bottom of the value chain. The success we saw today could not have been possible without some critical people who worked so hard night and day for months to make this happen. They are a formidable team. Many thanks to the Senior Director of the Africa Investment Forum, Chinelo Anohu. Can you please stand? For excellent work, perseverance, doggedness, and incredible effort in the face of several challenges. Well done. Onike Nicole Hura, where are you in this hall? Oh, yeah. Please give it up to her because she's the lead for the investor engagement work stream, and she worked so hard, she had to be hospitalized twice as she was planning this event. Thank you, Onike. Thank you to the team of the Africa Investment Forum, Martin Oji, the lead for transaction workstream, and your team. Thank you. Thank you to all the bank staff and all our partner institutions who worked so hard and you delivered. Communications and media. And I want to particularly recognize my director of media, Solomon Mugera, because, you know, Solomon, where are you? All right. You know, there are people that they just like to work in the background. He's director of communications of the bank. And I called him before this event started. I said, I wanted you on stage to be able to play a function. And he said, Mr. President, no, I'll be backstage, making sure everything works. Talk about wonderful attitude. And that's the attitude we have all across the bank. I'm proud of all of my staff. The communications and media team, the protocols team, the security and health services, the procurement teams, the legal services, because there are contracts to be signed, the language services. We can hear each other, you know, with the interpreters. Haven't they done a wonderful job? And of course, the drivers driving all the ministers and heads of state around, and the security forces. Without them, what will we do? Thank you very, very much. Now, thank you to my senior leadership team, especially my senior vice president, Swazi Shabalala, vice presidents, director generals, directors, and managers. If you are in the hall, please stand and be recognized. And of course, you know, what can you do without your board of directors? The board of directors makes all the decisions. So are my board members here? All right, please stand. Thank you very much to our board of directors for their support, incredible support for us on this. Thank you. And most importantly, my appreciation goes to a particular group, and that is you. Can you please stand and clap for yourself? You're the most important part of this, you know. Without you, what we will be doing? Thank you, and thank you, and thank you very, very much. Thank you. You made the business-to-business discussions, the panel discussions, the boardroom deals happen. I wish to also recognize somebody who also worked incredibly hard. Javier Fournier. Are you here? Vous êtes là, Javier? Mais il se peut-être. Il n'est pas là. Yes, okay, please. Javier Fournier was the one who and his team put together this event. What an incredible work they did with all the logistics that you see. Everything you see here was put together by them and also the partner team. So thank you. I'd like to thank Publicis, the company that actually helped us to set all the setup, all the things you see was done by Javier and their team with Publicis. So thank you to Publicis for a job well done. Thank you to the hostel staff, Hôtel Ivoire. Merci beaucoup pour tout le service que vous avez rendu pour rendre cette occasion vraiment un grand succès. Merci beaucoup pour tout le personnel. And my gratefulness to you, the members of the press, for being here. If you've been following this story, the press has been covering this a lot. And thank you for writing the story of the success and beaming them from across the world of the success stories of investments from Africa, right here from the Africa Investment Forum. Now, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, let our collective success now motivate us to do more for Africa. Together, let us change opportunities for millions of our people in Africa. It's not just about the money, it's about the people. And we must accelerate hope and bring it to pass faster for all of our people in Africa. Together, let us turn their hope into reality, a reality of wealth across Africa. For Africa must shine. I wish you all safe travels. As you travel back to your respective homes, may God bless you all with double. May God bless Africa with double. See you all next year for the Africa Investment Forum 2023. Thank you very much, and everything now double.
Alors c'est ainsi que prend fin ce forum, en dansant, comme vous pouvez le constater. Wonderful steps, Mr. President.